This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by another successful night for you, Mr. Ben Davison. Ben, congratulations on what is just becoming a theme of Leigh Wood's story. He just coming out of nowhere, producing these stunning knockout performances, finishes. Walk me through, though, what Leigh Wood just produced tonight.
Heart attack material, isn't it? I'm going to end up retiring early because of him. I thought Leigh won the first round. I thought he won the second round, but it was a tight round. Could see it going the other way as well. And then the third round, he got hit with a clash of heads, which hurt him, which led to a bit of a barrage from Josh. But I remember thinking, as Leigh sort of went back to the ropes, could see he was a bit hurt. And Lee Wiley actually said to me, "What's that from?" And literally just watched it back now and could see it was actually from a clash of heads. And he also got hit with a shot in the back of the head in that round as well, which he struggled to recover from as well. But as he always does, pulled it out of the bag.
The general consensus was in the build-up to obviously the stoppage, Josh was starting to build the rounds and bank the rounds and getting ahead. How was you assessing it? Did you feel like it was going that way as well?
I thought it was 4-2 in my book, but probably could even say possibly 5-1.
We know how tough a man Leigh is, and we know with the power that he possesses, he can always turn the fight around. Was there ever any doubts in your mind whether Leigh could have produced what he did?
No, because I think he's done that before, and I know, and I bang on so much about how hard he punches. He's always got that capability. Obviously, he got hit with a shot in the back of the head, which he was struggling to recover from, and he had mentioned that. Got with some decent body shots as well. But I did start to feel that Warrington was slowing down. I swear to God, me and Leigh Wiley had the conversation in round 7. He's slowing down. And I said throughout the build-up of the fight, I could see it being a fight of the year contender. Just when you match up a volume puncher versus a puncher, often that matchup doesn't end well for the volume puncher. And knew that that's Josh's game, to let his hands go, and he talked so much about wanting to let his hands go. Sometimes Leigh takes a little while to warm into fights, which isn't ideal, but he's probably a bit better at meeting people as a southpaw, Leigh, for whatever reason. However, he's probably not defensively as sound. So it was a risk that we had to take. Do we take away Leigh's possibility of meeting him as a southpaw to worry about defending himself as an orthodox? So all of this, I'm a defensive coach. We encouraged the southpaw to encourage Leigh to not take his feet out, not try and defend, but to actually meet him on the way in, and he done so. And like I said, I've banged on about it so much of the power of Leigh Wood. There's not a doubt in my mind he's the biggest puncher in the division, and he found the shot that made the difference. No one's done that to Warrington. Lara hurt him in the 4th, I think, and he got through to the 9th, but he was gone.
Obviously, that has again been a talking point, whether or not the ref might have been would have allowed him to have that minute to recover and maybe looked at him. But in your opinion, the right decision to pull it there and then?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and it's not my opinion that matters. Obviously, there in that moment, it's the referees. But what I think happened is, just firstly, I'll probably stop Leigh for less against Lara in the first fight. But what I think happened there was, I think he was still gone. He got up off his stool 2 minutes later and was still unsteady on his legs. That's the truth. But what I think happened is he went down, went over to the corner. I don't think he realised that the round was ending or had ended. His corner was up, his stool was in the ring. He wasn't quite sure where he was. And I think he thought the fight was over. He walks back to the corner and goes, "Oh, fuck," thinking the fight was over, because his corner were up on the ring apron with the stool in the ring. So I think Warrington thought the fight was over. But he didn't have his senses. He was clearly very unsteady on his legs. I know potential minute in between, but he got up off his stool after 2 minutes and was still very unsteady on his legs. That's how fighters get really hurt. So he lives to fight another day, potentially a rematch there as well. So I think it was the right decision.
The southpaw Leigh Wood, is that something which we might expect to see a little bit more of? He certainly caught a few people by surprise tonight.
He's actually switched all throughout his career, to be honest with you. He
Well, it was more of a dominant showing as a southpaw tonight as opposed to being orthodox.
It was what, sorry?
Saw more of him as a southpaw tonight as opposed to orthodox.
Yeah, so he started as an orthodox, and then he switched to southpaw, and he come back to the corner and said that he feels more comfortable as a southpaw. However, defensively sometimes where it's not natural to him, he was struggling. But like I said, he's very, very good at meeting people, countering, punching with, as a southpaw. So we was encouraging that because we didn't want to take away the possibility of Leigh meeting him. And as I've said many times, punches hard enough to end a fight in that moment. So to take away a fight-ending moment for Leigh to have better defensive moments. But the reality is if he's sat trying to defend Warrington shots, he's probably losing those moments anyway. So we didn't want to take away the chance of Leigh meeting him. And so, he liked the southpaw as well. So, and the fight ending moment come from southpaw, and he hurt him as a southpaw at the end of the first round as well.
Leigh's last weight cut to 126. Ben, I'm sure you're as relieved as what Leigh is knowing that. Was this the toughest that he's found trying to get down to featherweight?
No, the last few have all been the same, to be honest. Like last time he made weight where I thought, okay, still tough, but okay, I don't mind that, was probably Kanzu. Since then, they've been up very uncomfortable weight cuts. Probably wouldn't have done this fight at featherweight if it wasn't Warrington or a fight of this magnitude. And you know, you have to be realistic as well. It's a business decision. He has to secure himself financially for the future as well. And it was a fight that couldn't be missed. So it was a fight that he had to take, but made no bones about it. It's always difficult for him to make the featherweight limit. And I said through fight week that'll be the last time as well.
He has just said to me as well that it very much could be the city ground and then bow out from boxing, obviously ideally with a victory to go out on. Is that the perfect ending to the Leigh Wood career for you as well, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, you have to take it step by step, fight by fight, because we keep saying, how many times have we said, you're not going to top that, then we've topped it, you're not going to top that, then he's topped it. So it's hard to, you have to take it step by step, but obviously he's desperate for that city ground fight, and God willing, he gets it.
Who do you think is the most realistic dance partner for that? I always said to Leigh that if you're going to fight at a city ground, I imagine you need a big domestic name to sell it, i.e. Josh rematch, Conlon rematch, or Cordina up at 130. Obviously you can bring in one of the other champions from 130 from the States, but might not sell as well. What would you like to see?
I like the Navarrete fight for Leigh Wood. I do. I like the Navarrete fight for Leigh Wood. Yeah, it would. I like that fight for Leigh Wood, and that would allow Leigh to become a 3-time two-weight world champion.
What makes you so confident with Leigh in the fight with Navarrete? Obviously, he just had a terrific performance against Oscar Valdez.
I just think he punches too hard for you to transition and fight the way Navarrete fights.
Well, Ben, I know the team is kind of wrapping up for the night from the looks of it, so I want you to go and enjoy what's left of this. How else are you going to celebrate? I've seen everybody stuffing their faces with pizza or anything else on the table.
No, that's it. I'm gonna head back to my room now. To be honest, I'm gonna try and set off relatively early in the morning. So yeah, that's me.
Well, Ben, I appreciate you doing this interview. It's about 2:30 in the morning now, so I'll leave you to go and catch up with the team. Like I say, thank you for speaking to me and enjoy this victory once again.
Thanks, mate.